I'm Julie Fei-Fan Balzer, and I'm here in the Brothers Scan and Cut booth, and I'm going to show you just how easy it is to scan and cut, or see it, scan it, cut it, create it. So, as you can see right here, I have this little doodle that I did. I just did it with a marker. It says Julie is awesome, because hello, Julie is awesome. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take it and put it into my scanning mat. Now this is not a sticky mat. It's the only mat that isn't. It just has this clear coat that lifts up. You stick in whatever it is that you want to scan. You open the built-in dust cover on the machine. Then I'm going to go ahead and load in my mat. I do like to load it from the front here. I think it keeps the load nice and straight. I'll hit the load button. Now this is a choose your own adventure kind of machine. So do you want to go on a pattern adventure or a scanning adventure? Since we loaded the scanning mat, I think we should go on a scanning adventure. So I'm going to choose the scan to cut data option. Now there are several options there, and I just want to explain what the difference is to you. So if you choose direct cut, that means if you stamp something, or like I have right here, if I drew something, the machine inside, you will scan it, it can see it, it will cut it out even with a little margin that you can see right here. The other option, the third option, which said scan to USB, that's because Brother is a company that makes scanners, so you can scan JPEGs, anything that you want in, photos, etc., and it can be your regular home scanner. So, looks like we are recognizing here. The machine will take a little bit of time to recognize a more complicated design, and it'll be very, very quick with a simple design like that. The only thing I want to note is if you look at the design that you see right here, this is a pretty heavy line, and that's a great thing because the scanner will be able to see it, and it looks like we're ready to rock. So there are a couple options here for scanning that you can see, and I just want to show you what the difference is. If you choose this first option, you're going to get an outline like this. If you choose a second option, that's when you're going to get the detailed like this. So again, first option outline, second option detailed. For something like words, I feel like what we really want is we want to have the outline. So I'm going to go ahead and choose that second option. Then I'm catching the edge of the page here, so I want to go ahead and drag in my arrows just like this, nice and tight, and I'm going to drag them in, pull them in, there you go, and you can see your design is ready. So I'm going to go ahead and press save. And once I press save, it's going to give me the option to either save into the machine or to a USB. I'm going to save it into the machine, but you could of course save it to an external USB thumb drive. So here we go, there it is, just like Dorothy, whenever you're somewhere you don't want to be, guess what we're going to do? There's no place like home. So we're gonna go ahead and hit the home button. There you go. So I'm gonna unload my scanning mat. And now what I'm gonna do is, remember I said that every other mat is sticky. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take the dust cover right off of my sticky mat. There it is, nice and sticky. And I'm gonna put a piece of cardstock down. It doesn't matter where I put the cardstock. The only thing is it needs to be within the perimeters of the sticky area, because the 300 DPI built-in scanner in this machine is going to be able to see exactly where this little scrap of paper is and cut out what I want. So I'm going to go ahead now that I've smoothed it down. And if you're at all worried that it's not sticky, one little tip I like to give people is your spatula tool is actually a great smoother downer tool, if that can be something in the English language that we can say. It helps to smooth it all down and keep it nice and tight on there. Then what I'm going to do is just the same way. I'm going to go hands first, loading it into the machine, making sure it's nice and snug. Press the load button. There it goes. Then I'm ready to choose. Remember, choose your own adventure. We already scanned. Let's go on a pattern adventure. So here we go, pattern. Now it's in the saved data as opposed to the built-in designs. And I will mention that in these built-in designs, each of these is a cover for many more pages of designs. So that's kind of cool. You can even see there are tons of quilt designs. Like you have 11 pages of quilting designs in here. Okay, but we want to go into our saved data. So we didn't save it to a USB, we saved it into the machine. So here it is, machine. And you can see all the designs that I've saved into here, and there it is, Julie is awesome. Now, I want you to watch very carefully. I'm going to click the editing function. Notice the red square. And if I click over, the red square moves, red square moves, red square moves. That's because each of these is saved as an individual file, so I could edit out anything I wanted at this point. But once I'm happy with it, which I am, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to unite it. So I'm going to select all, right like that, and then I'm going to unify, and it's going to ask me if it's okay, and of course that's totally fine. So now it's one big piece. Not only can I move it, I can also resize it, I can flip it so that it's backwards, I can rotate it. You can really do anything you want. You can even make it so that there are two of them. There you go, so you can duplicate it, you can throw that away if you don't like it. It's totally flexible, you're able to do whatever you want. But I say we cut it, because that sounds like something you should do with a machine that's called the scan and cut. So here we go. Let's hit OK. And now I'm going to hit the scanning button. And the scanning button is going to allow me to scan in that orange piece of paper so I can see exactly where it is. And this is what allows me to use every last bit of a scrap or anything like that. It also allows you to fussy cut something. If there's a pattern that you like, a piece of a pattern that you like, you can see it. And so you're able to cut it exactly as you want. Now you'll see on the screen, there it comes. Now let's say you had a black piece of paper or something dark. In the settings, which are right here under the wrench, it's super easy. You can make it darker, and you can see that dark orange makes it a little hard to see. But if you choose that lighter version, it makes it really easy, because I cut out a black cardstock all the time. So now I'm able to go ahead and grab it, make sure that it's cutting right on there, okay? And now I'm ready to hit OK. But wait, I don't know how to do my settings. No worries, we can add a test cut. So I'm just gonna hit add. I'm gonna do test cut. You can choose from any of the shapes. I happen to like the circle. I'm gonna hit set. There's my little test cut. So I'm gonna drag it down to the bottom. And now this is really cool. The machine will prioritize that test cut. So it's actually gonna cut it first and then stop. But before we do, I just wanna grab the blade right over here. I wanna pull it out. And that's simply just lifting up, pulling it out, and then it's this simple little screw that you see right here. The blade comes out from the bottom, right like that. The white line tells me what setting I'm at. We've been cutting cardstock pretty successfully around a 4 at the show, so I'm gonna go ahead and try it out there. So I'm simply gonna drop this down right in there. If it doesn't go in, then that's my fault. I'm having a problem of some kind. There you go. This wasn't up far enough, and I'm gonna push that down. And now the green button has lit up. I'm gonna press start, and remember, it's just gonna cut that one little test cut, and then it's gonna stop. So I'll know whether or not I've cut my material correctly. So there it is, it's come out, it's stopped. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna test whether that test cut came out. Oh, it looks like not only did it cut out, but it also did not cut through the mat, so I know I'm good to go. Now if you look at the screen, it says quick cutting. So if it wasn't right, I could immediately quick cutting, adjust my blade, and change it. But since it's good to go, I'm just gonna go ahead, press that start button, and now it's gonna cut out that Julie is awesome. Just so that everybody knows. And now you can adjust the speed. We have it set right now at the factory standard, which is a 3. It'll go as high as a 5. And as low as a 1. I do recommend to people, if you have a very intricate design, that you absolutely change it down to a 1, because that seems to help a lot to get the intricate work out. You can also change the pressure. And now if anything should go wrong during cutting, something crazy happens, your paper slips, you don't like the settings, whatever else, I can immediately press the stop button. The machine stops dead, right, really fast. I can take the blade out, I can adjust it, I can put it back in, I can go into the settings, I can go ahead and change the speed, the pressure, anything else that I want, and just hit OK. And then I can also quick cutting to abort the project completely, or I can press start, and it's simply going to pick up exactly from where it left off. It's not going to start and to cut everything again. It's just going to pick up from where it left off. So that's a great feature, so that you know that you are always the boss of your machine. It is not the boss of you. And I always like things that are not the boss of me, because I'm kind of already bossy. You know how that works? So as you can see, it's cutting it out. And one of the things that I like to do quite often, as you can see right here, I have these leaves of 2 different colors, and I actually cut them at the same time. And these are based on a doodle that I did, and you can see the doodle right there. And there you go. I cut them out, and you can do 2 different types of scans, as you know, to do that all. There are also all those lovely built-in designs that you can see in the machine, things like snowflakes and flowers and leaves, and I think I'm going to call this a fancy swirl thing. We cut some vinyl out of doodles to do this phone case, which is kind of a cool little thing. So remember, anything that you download from the internet, anything that you can print out of your computer, you can scan it into the machine. And if you come over here with me, Mark, you're gonna see you can cut cardstock, canvas, really thick leather, which is nice, fabric, vinyl, felt, all sorts of stuff, virtually anything up to 2 millimeters thick, and it looks like we're done cutting. So this is always the most exciting part. We're gonna go ahead and unload that mat, close the dust cover. I like to pull off the outside cardstock. I'm not sure Julie's awesome yet, but it looks like it's close. Now you can, of course, use the spatula tool to pull any of this cardstock off. I tend to just bend the mat, push it up, and then sort of carefully pull this away. And then any little pieces that don't come out, you just kind of massage them until they come out. But there you go. Guess what, you guys? Can you see this? Julie is awesome. And it's actually a different size than what we cut out. But, you know, if you ever wondered, not only is Julie awesome, but the scan and cut is awesome. So pretty cool, right? So thanks for coming by to see me, and I hope you enjoy the scan and cut. Do visit my blog at balzerdesigns.typepad.com and the scan and cut website at scanandcut.com.